Today, we are going to do something way different. Welcome to Ben 10 Gaming Retrospective. Back in the day, as a kid, I adored the show. I thought Ben 10 was so cool because I wanted powers like a lot of the heroes I adored at the time, and seeing a kid around my age being able to change into a lot of aliens with powers, it honestly blew my mind. I wanted everything I could find when going to stores and seeing ads on TV, since I didn't actually have Cartoon Network on my TV. I wanted the experience, and I did get that experience in the form of DVDs, games, and basically going to other people's houses just to watch Cartoon Network. The show eventually spawned two sequels, Ben 10 Alien Force and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. At the moment, I have rewatched the entire franchise and I'm in the process of replaying the games, but not the reboots. Omniverse isn't bad, it actually has pretty cool moments and a good story, but the art style just really puts me off. But the other one, it's awful. Oh my god, what did it do to Snake Fly and all the aliens? As a kid, I played the game version of Alien Force like 20 times, Cosmic Destruction about 10 times, and I just completed Vilgax Attacks the other day. Those games were really great and all, but I always wanted to play as Kid Ben 10 as aliens, but I just never could. At least that's what I thought. Today we're talking about Ben 10 Protector of Earth, a game I only bought recently in 2020 to relive my childhood and to finally play as the original aliens. But I couldn't, because you can only play as 5 aliens. I wanted to play as Wildmutt so bad since I always really liked him and imitated him as a kid. But no, you get to fight idiotic creatures that act like him. Who do you think you are? Who? I was able to play as 3 other favorites though, so I guess it makes up for that. At the beginning of the game, some robot latches onto the Omnitrix and drains its power. This causes the Omnitrix to lose some of its aliens, so the trio then sets out to find these aliens, which are in these so-called Omnitrix crystals. They encounter a lot of villains from the show, including the big man himself.
I am Vilgax, and I have come for the Omnitrix.
So much things happen all at once, and sometimes you don't even know what's happening, since most of the time you just see a cutscene where some villain shows up out of nowhere, and you just whoop in and go on with your game. This story also goes all over the place, but that's not necessarily a bad thing though. The original show felt episodic but consistent, meaning that every episode had something different to offer but still had the same motive and or storyline. This game does something very similar by having new things happen every level but still with one motive: gathering every Omnitrix crystal and kicking butt while we're at it. But still not able to play as well, but get the fuck out of here. The presentation is on point! The voice actors are the same as from the show, something a lot of licensed games don't have. The characters also feel authentic to the source material, which needs to be said since characters can often feel really odd and are harder to write when they're put on a different medium such as a video game, especially if they're supposed to be similar to the source material. But luckily, they feel authentic in this game, and that's all I ask for. The models in this game look pretty good, but on first glance you might have mixed feelings about them. But after like a minute I started quite liking these models. The people that have watched the show know that the theme is a timeless bop. This game actually features the main theme, which is pretty nice, but what I was meaning to say is that the OST feels like it was ripped straight from the show. And considering how good it sounds, it might actually have some tracks included from the source material. The soundtrack is filled with the same sounds and melodies that made the show have its own vibe, you could say. And I just really enjoy that. I'd also like to mention that when you open the map, you get this theme that sounds really satisfying. It's really nice to hear if you're a fan of the show. It just overall gives me this feeling that the show isn't about cool fights or aliens, but mainly the experience and bonding that denizens have and create during the summer. Not as allies, not as friends, but as a family. Okay, I'm gonna shut up about the music now. As I said before, you cannot play as 10 aliens in Ben 10, but you are able to play as 4 Arms, Heat Blast, Accelerate, Cannonball, Wildvine, and of course Ben Tennyson. The gameplay mainly consists of platforming, solving puzzles, and beating up enemies. When you stir into an alien, a gauge will appear. When the gauge runs out, you will revert back to Ben, and you need to wait until the gauge is filled back up to once again become an alien. You will also revert back if the alien form loses all its damage or if the player themselves chooses to do so. Using this special attack does also take a little bit of energy to use. The combat is really well done since there are a lot of combos you can learn and utilize. You can learn combos when the upgrade gauge fills up, giving you the opportunity to choose which combo you'd like to teach to which alien. This makes the combat really fun considering they can actually change up how you defeat enemies and how you approach a battle. Except Wildfire. I just did not like playing as him. Like in the show he's a cool alien, but in this game I just did not like using him. The only times I did like using him is when you could swing from these cactus looking things. Cannonball is by the way broken. He does so much damage that I could use him in every situation and not struggle. He's like Accelerate and 4 arms combined. Speaking of which, you can actually do some of Accelerate's puzzles with Cannonball. He also barely has cooldowns for his attacks and is so fast when attacking that the enemies don't even have time to respond to it. I did still use the other aliens just because they were fun to play as, and even though this doesn't put me at a disadvantage, I still have to address it. If that doesn't show how broken he is, I don't know what will. He do be kinda vibing though. Oh, and the air hitboxes for 4 arms also don't work properly. I am able to hit enemies that aren't even in the air. After each level you get your time and rank for that level, which sometimes becomes really eye-opening. This level took me 20 minutes to complete! What? What the fuck? The map has 3 pins. Blue pins are the main levels where you platform, do puzzles, and beat up enemies. Red pins are just beat 'em ups, and skulls are boss fights. Every blue pin level contains 3 golden sumo slammer cards which unlock special movies. I really like collecting these, and I sometimes will restart levels just to collect the ones I missed. Even though you don't even really get something great out of them. Just a MP4 of Ben changing to an alien, which I can find right here. There are other stuff to collect like health, energy for your gauge, and sometimes items that either increase your damage or make you invincible for a period of time. You also have other power-ups that increase the recharge rate of the Omnitrix, power-ups that reduce the amount of gauge you use for special moves, and power-ups that increase your health. Let's talk Master Control.
Gray matter!
Diamond Head.
Cool. This rocks! I must have finally unlocked some kind of master control or something.
The Master Control just basically lets you do that. When you're already one of the 5 alien forms, you can still turn the dial and choose Ben or another alien form to change to. This does not drain the gauge and neither do special attacks with Master Control on. Boss fights are pretty fun and thought out since you actually need to do stuff to beat them. It's not just beating the enemy until they go down. You have to use more than one alien form to beat the bosses, which is just a genius idea. Let me say this right now. I'm going to rat. When I use attacks, I can still get hit in the animation, which makes fighting enemies very stressful because I don't want to revert back to Ben. I can fight the enemies as Ben, but the enemies don't stun, so it feels pointless. But then again, he is still a kid, so I guess it's accurate to the source material? I don't know. Oh, and this is the most annoying thing of the whole game. When I revert back to Ben, the enemies don't stop attacking me. At least make me invincible until I can actually move so I don't get one-shotted every time there are a lot of enemies around. I died at moments that weren't even hard and then easily went through them the second time. This game lags in a lot of areas but mostly delivers in the rest. This game definitely isn't perfect. A Ben 10 game, in my opinion, should not be a linear beat 'em up. A Ben 10 game should be an open world one, but that's just a whole different story. For what I have right now, I'd say it was a solid attempt that succeeded for a first game. Some things could have been easily tweaked and more content would fix a lot of the repetitive feels I got, but as I said, for what we have right now, it's pretty good. This game just made me feel like a child again. Just me and my PSP enjoying the fun alongside Ben 10 just like back in the day. Even though the game had its problems, it was still a fun time. I might have a biased verdict since the show and the whole franchise just has a special place in my childhood, but I guess you have to deal with it because it's my video. But for real, I really enjoyed playing through this game. I had a lot of fun when playing and recommend you try it if you're a fan of the show. I give this game a 7 out of 10. We're at the end, but I'd like to say that I enjoyed making this video, even though it's a little different from what I usually do. As I said in the beginning, I'm trying out new things, but I still will be making videos that I really like to create, talking about a lot of geek and gaming stuff I really like. This video was, by the way, inspired by the Frozen Carver in his video of this game. I saw his video when I was doing research on this game, and he was a great inspiration and a helpful source to see how to make this review. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see his video, but now that I've said everything I think I wanted to say, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Please consider subscribing since I have a lot of new content planned, and those will be uploaded soon enough. But for now, stay tuned in by subscribing. Did you like the video? Show me support by liking or commenting. Thanks again for watching. Have a nice day, my G's, and I'll speak to you guys soon enough. I smashed that, bro.